That is, I think, the magic question that we will be asking over the next 10 years. And I don't think that we have a succinct answer yet. But I will say that there's something to be said about in-person work. Now, I personally do a lot of remote work. I do a lot of remote consulting. So I am in favor of remote work as well as hybrid work. But there is something about that frontal experience about being face to face, because if you think about this, you are in your office, something immediately comes up. You might have an employee come and knock on your door. Or if you have an administrative support person, they might go to that person because you might be in a meeting. And there might be a little bit more of an immediacy in terms of being able to communicate with you versus waiting for an email or waiting for a phone call that might have a bit more distance. So I know that this is a bit of a tricky conversation. There are many companies who are now asking employees to come back. There are many companies that are really promoting the hybrid model, which I think might end up being one of our best case scenarios, because it'll give people an opportunity to work from home, but also come into the office and have that human interaction. Now, when we are working globally, we will have people only on a screen, the way you and I are here. So one of the things that we can do doesn't fully address the issue yet, but be mindful. Be mindful to nonverbal language. This is where having emotional intelligence and awareness of the people around you matter. And where listening matters. Just like you're attentively listening to me, paying attention to my verbal cues to what I'm saying, we can do that. And that's actually a sign of a very well-evolved leader, one who's very mindful. You know, the old saying goes is that it's not the loudest person who runs the show. It's usually the quietest, most observant person. Those are some of the strongest leaders out there. So I think what we're going to be seeing is going to be a deeper dive into our human skills, how we relate to one another. In fact, people are so interested in this idea of the human. You know, the personal development industry right now is at about $46 billion a year. And by 2032, it is expected to go to about 70 billion. That means that people are interested in something that has to do with the self, with relationships, with how we communicate, with how we develop. And it is not necessarily something that's different than the workplace, because people develop themselves for many reasons. Some of them are for personal, to be a better human, and some of them are to be better at work, be a better, leader, be a better employee. But the fact remains that there is a significant interest in this idea of being human and developing ourselves. And the trend is only going up. And this is why we look at data, because data gives us an insight into what's happening. And that data, of course, we interpret it, but it's there nonetheless.